Hello, my name is Tone Maguire. This is a movie I've been filming, from the lava fields in Hawaii off to Bali, Indonesia with the dancers and temples. I was filming a movie for Netflix that was going to show all the festivals and celebrations there were on the different islands in the Pacific Ocean. While filming in Cebu, Philippines, I was invited to the detention center to film the world-famous prison dances that were dancing to a song by Michael Jackson. So there were copyrights, so I could not use it for my movie, so I added one I wrote called Honey later. It was wonderful seeing over 1,000 prisoners dancing to music. I decided after filming this, I would go to a place I had heard about called Puerto Princesa, Palawan in the Philippines. After landing in Puerto Princesa, I was stopped at the luggage carousel by 3 people holding a sign saying my name. I was told that a Mayor Edward Hagedorn wanted to see me and to come with them. So before I could go the next day to El Nido to meet my wife Mary Rose, I was going to a party to eat chocolate cake. So I decided to do an interview to find out his story.
How did you go about putting all of this together?
Actually, I'm only talking about Puerto Princesa,
Oh.
capital of the province of Palawan.
Perfect.
We're in the middle of the Long Island province of Palawan.
Gotcha.
And I took over in 1992. I think everything was providential, because when I was delivering my inauguration speech, that was the first time I ever spoke in public. First time. I was even, I think, I don't even know what I'm talking about because for the first time I faced so many people.
When was this?
This was in 1992.
1992.
I ran for mayor in 1992, not because I thought I'm going to win, but because I just want to give a problem to the mayor then, who was there for 27 years. And I feel he hasn't done anything good for the city, so I said I'm going to fight as mayor. But it's like, David and Goliath. I was a neophyte, I never worked for the government before, I'm an undergraduate. But I wanted to bring change to the city. And so it was in 1992 when my friends pushed me in the political arena and I tried my luck and I was so surprised I won. I won. And that was the beginning. Because I never worked for the government before. And,
What was you doing before you decided to get into government?
well, we can say I was everything a mother wouldn't like her son to be.
Enough said.
And so when I became the mayor, I was so humbled by that experience because I'm not from this place. Actually, I was born in Manila, in Metro Manila. And for the first time, the people elected a mayor who's not a native of the place. So I was thinking maybe I was there at the right time, right place when people wanted change. And for a while I thought I'll just, take it easy and just let it flow naturally. But when I became the mayor, I felt I had a great responsibility for the people. So out of gratitude, I told them I'm going to protect the resources that rightfully belong to the Palawanis. And so that's what started our environmental consciousness drive. It became the center of our administration, trust, to protect the environment. And we started hitting on all the illegal operators here, the untouchables, And I'm happy that with the support of the people,
You cleaned it up.
we're now, being very, very successful. As a matter of fact, Puerto Princesa now is the center of all the study tour of the different local government units. They all come here to learn from our experiences, from the successful programs that they have. And I was surprised the tourism was jumped up from 12,000 in 1992 to 297,000. And that's how big it is. And when we got the independence from the province, there was a huge jump in the influx of people, investment, and even airlines. Before we had the independence, we only have 1 flight a day. Now we have 9 flights, 9 flights a day, and we're now being used as a model by the entire country. when it comes to environmental.
You must be proud of yourself for having such.
Proud of our people.
Yeah.
Without their support, it would be very difficult. I don't think any mayor will be able to succeed without the support of the people. But we have to be firm. We have to be doing it by example. We cannot say one thing and do the other. So when we go around, slowly I will show you the different stages of our administration.
Wonderful.
And we started from a very dirty city where the crime rate is going up to the present. And as we go along, maybe we can talk.
Yeah, first he asked the councilman to give him a few months, I think a month or two, to show them what he can do. And then next is he told me, clean the city. So he told me to be the street sweeper, and I became the street sweeper. So with my sister and I, we started going around, monitoring, looking at some garbage, etc., etc. And then that started Oplan Linis.
Ah, so that was one of the first programs.
Yes.
And because of there only being such a small amount into the coffers to help, he went out and spent that on brooms and stuff for the people to use.
Right.
And then he made some new laws in about being fined if you threw litter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Everything here is a no.
Yes.
Illegal is a no here.
Okay.
There are no bargainings when it comes to illegal actions. We've come up with ordinances that really would be tough on those criminals or those who would violate the laws. When you say illegal logging, illegal gambling, illegal fishing, illegal mining, no mining, you've got it. Anything that would destroy, the environment, that would be bad for the people, is a no-no.
So the mayor introduced me to Dr. Jerry Ortega to show me how the programs were set up and worked.
This is the place called Honda Bay, and the people here are basically fishermen by profession. Back in 1992, most of them are engaged into a lot of illegal fishing activity. But thanks to Mayor Hagedorn, when he came into power, he talked to them and convinced them to help him in his agenda in tourism and environmental conservation. And they have given up their fishing activities that are not very good to our environment, and they took part in a community tourism business here.
So you're self-sustaining,
Yeah.
and this has gone from before where they were illegally fishing to now being a sustainable thing where everybody is profiting in a positive way about it and saving the environment.
Yeah.
So the fishing boats have gone into being tour boats now.
Yeah.
Kind of like swords to plowshares, right?
There's a proliferation of crown of thorns here. It's also them took it upon themselves without the government paying them. Gathered all the crown of thorns in the coral reefs of Honda Bay, voluntarily doing it without paying. Fishing activities are not very good to our environment, and they took part in a community tourism business here. And they have organized themselves into Honda Bay Boat Owners Association. They have converted their fishing boats into tourist boats. Okay, and so they are now organized. They are registered with the government, and the business, as you can see, is being administered by the women of Honda Bay. These are not college students, these are not graduates of any particular course, but through their experience, they're able to manage their business like a corporation. And this corporation is owned by the community, and all of them are benefiting from it. So, and then they take care of the environment. To me, this is the highest form and the full maturation of democracy in the Philippines when small communities like this community are taking part in the governance and the conservation of nature.
What do they call this special place now? Is there a name for it?
There's a name for this reef called Pambato Reef,
Which means
which means it's something to be proud about. Okay, a place that they can compete with other beautiful places in the world.
and how did this name generate itself?
It's just them. They said this is something to be proud of. They thought of a name. It's them who gave the name.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Edna, the monitoring officer here, she goes around to see that everything is in order.
I'm also the one of officers of Honda Bay Boatmen Association.
And Manang, she is the officer of the day,
The dispatcher.
dispatcher.
Dispatcher. Every day you stay here to dispatch the tourists to go at the island.
We want this place to be a model for community-based sustainable tourism, especially in coastal areas in the country.
This is like basically ran by the women. They tell the men
Yeah,
what to do.
majority of the members are women. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Jerry Ortega was saying Mayor Hagedorn made changes for the entire community that before, when the community was exploiting the fishing practices by dynamite and cyanide and special nets, now you can see the tourism cars that are bringing all the tourists to take them to show all the sights. So I had a talk with Jerry Ortega for quite a while, and I was impressed with how the mayor was setting up all the foundations for people to take over the businesses for themselves. I decided to take a tour boat to Snake Island. Warm air, warm waters, a secure, comfortable trip, a clean, warm, nice place. I was also trying to find out things about Mayor Edward S. Hagedorn, all the projects that he had started and was doing, and how everybody was following him. As I was driving around, I could see it was absolutely the cleanest place that I have ever seen in my life. After I got to this Snake Island, I could see that there were other boats here also, enjoying the same thing. I couldn't find anything on the ground, no bubblegum wrappers, no cigarette butts, nothing. It was just spotless everywhere I went in the city, and the mayor said it was because since he started office, it had been where everybody was aware of keeping the city clean. So that's what everybody grew up with, a clean city. I was enjoying my time. I truly was enjoying everything that I was experiencing in the city of Puerto Princesa. The boat ride was really relaxing, seeing so many beautiful sights. I was really enjoying myself, but what I was experiencing was something new. I've never met someone like Edward S. Hagedorn before. I'm from the United States. I never met any politicians doing as much as he was doing to help his people out in my country. There's people that are nice and people that are extremely nice. That's where I put Edward Hagedorn. He was in a class all of his own. All he did daily was to think about the needs of his people, what he could do to help, and when he couldn't help, he always gave them hope. On the weekends, the hotels would fill up and he would put on a show with the dancers and singers to explain all of the programs that he was putting together and was working on so others could enjoy them also. And there was always somebody from a different part of the Philippines coming to take notes on what Edward Hagedorn was doing. And experiencing being able to swim with the whale sharks was quite a thrill. I was really enjoying myself. Swimming with a whale shark was something I had not expected to do, so large and comfortable to be near. There were manta rays with 8 to 10 feet wings gliding through the water, a jellyfish and schools of fish, small sharks lying on the bottom, and beautiful coral reefs. The Tubataha Reef was the second largest reef in the world to dive in and enjoy moray eels, and schools of fishes of different types swimming everywhere. It was amazing seeing so much beauty. There was a beautiful spotted eagle ray gliding through the water. After diving, I was heading back past Pambato Reef to the landing where my tour started after having a wonderful tour to Snake Island. It was truly a wonderful trip. I could see the new Coast Guard station at the landing that the United States had built for securing the oceans from pirates, illegal fishermen, terrorists, and overall safety. I was able to experience the largest pearl in the world. It was incredible. 75 pounds, 1 foot by 2 feet, worth over $1 million. And it sat underneath the fisherman's bed for 10 years, and then it was brought out. I was learning about his programs like the Feast of the Forest, where the people planted over 2 million trees. I saw his presentation of how the seas would rise in Manila 1 meter from climate warming by the year 2050. How the Bay Watch program had 1,800 violators apprehended and 400 put in jail. Dynamite fishing was stopped, and a program that put hybrid solar and wind turbine lamp posts to light the highway to make it safer for the citizens to drive at night. Mayor Hagedorn certainly was making ecological changes to Puerto Princesa for everyone to enjoy. He created award-winning housing programs that would help the squatters find a home, and fishermen that before were doing illegal fishing to now doing tour boats. Ellen Hagedorn, along with Edward, had a program that cleaned the city garbage so well that they had the cleanest city in Asia. Absolutely amazing. He was developing electric trikes to replace all the trikes being used in the city to reduce pollution. Winning many awards such as the United Nations Global 500 with Al Gore at the award ceremony at the United Nations. He built 8 satellite hospitals for the rural barangays, so medical care for all would be available. Many awards and everywhere beautiful sunsets for all to enjoy. Droughts and calamities never happened until recently. The landfill was an example that other cities were copying. The rivers were clean and compared to Manila's that were full of garbage. Manila's rivers were terrible. He built daycare centers and libraries for the public to use. He was making models for sustainable development, having the love affair with nature where the newlyweds would plant trees before they would have a free marriage. We'll see more of this a little later on in detail. Tourism was really doing well. A lot of that was because of the underground river being made famous by Mr. Haggerton. Agriculture and fishing was high, and everybody was having a good time with the Oplan Linus program was a big success, having the cleanest city in Asia. It was a miracle all the things that he had put together had finally come to fruition. Logging all the trees that were cut down, all the slashing of burning was all over with. But the big thing was underground river. And that's what was bringing the economy and the tourist to new levels of success. I was invited to the crocodile farm that Dr. Jerry Ortega had put together, and I was going to be educated on what the farm was doing. This is a giant crocodile as I first entered. It was amazing. Now we're going to go to our guide and he will tell us what's been going on here with everything and what they do here at the crocodile farm and how they are raised.
It's used for commercial farming for the skin because they have the best skin. And then we also have the endemic indigenous. It's not a very big crocodile.
The Philippine crocodile has a length of 2 meters, you tell me.
Yes, that's our indigenous crocodile.
Crocodiles.
And this is mostly one fish. of the, if not the most endangered crocodile in the world right now. So.
And you have how many of these being raised here now?
Around 600.
600, so you're really saving things here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Last year we released 50 individuals, captive bred here in the farm, back to the wild. So hopefully we'll jack up their wild population so that they can.
There he is. Now he's
not
upset.
endangered.
And they're protected from hunting and so on because of the laws here?
Yes, by law.
Yes.
But in practicality, it's very difficult to assure their protection.
Yes. So you have king cobras on the island just roaming around.
Yes.
Merry
We
Christmas.
have
After my tour, I was able to go to the area where they had the alligators for everybody to hold. I got a picture like everybody else did. It was after that that I have to tell you about the story on how Jerry Ortega, who was murdered during the filming of my movie, the governor had been upset with Jerry Ortega because he was telling all the people about the illegal mining, and the governor did not like that. Because he was involved in it, so Jerry was murdered. The mayor, Edward Hagedorn, had sent people to find the murderer, the person that was responsible for this, that led back to the governor who hired the murderer, and the governor put a contract out on the mayor to kill him. It was at this time that I was with the mayor, and a lot of people just weren't coming around anymore because they were scared. But the mayor stuck to his guns, and he finally got the governor arrested and the people that were responsible for his murder. I had been with Jerry many times. He was to be the voice-over for my movie. I was deeply saddened by his loss, and a good friend that I had come to admire for how wonderful he had been helping the mayor and the people of Puerto Princesa. Here is the murderer. This is where I met Dave and Diana. They were the people that were helping the mayor develop the electric trike, so there would be less pollution in the city of Puerto Princesa. These are the designs that they were creating. I was able to ride in these, and they were really, really quiet, really economical. So this was one of the many programs he was developing to have cleaner air and less pollution.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Jordan Clow, and this is the Irwan Canopy Zipline. We're here in Puerto Princesa City in the Irwan watershed. It's actually the flora and fauna protected area of the Irwan watershed. And actually this used to be a quarry site. This used to be called the Crusher area, but we have turned it into our Irwan Eco Park. It's not just a zip line for zip line's sake. Actually, we have the Irwan Eco Park, and so the whole idea is it's a zip line in the forest canopy, literally riding right on top of the trees. A lot of these trees didn't used to be here, but they were replanted.
It was after the zip line and visiting the butterflies where all the families used to come with their children to learn about and get educated. Then I was introduced to the sanitary landfill that everyone was copying throughout the Philippines. I went to where there were the classes that were going on for people from the different barangays, showing where all the different refuse and the plastic was, and how things were working overall, so I watched some classes that they were taking so they could take the knowledge back to the barangays to pass on to the people. I was enjoying all the programs that the mayor was putting together. It was about time for me to visit the underground river. So I was getting myself together to go to the underground river. I was remembering all the stuff that the mayor had told me at my meeting when I first met him, and along the way, with all the other people that I had met that had been telling me, such as Jerry Ortega and other people that work for him, Becky Labitt that was in charge of tourism. So I was reviewing all the things that I remembered, and how he had worked so hard to help the city and its tourism. How he went to UNESCO and had the underground river listed as a heritage site. He was able to get it in the running for the 7 natural wonders of the world, so he lobbied really hard for everybody in the Philippines to text and add their vote, so they were able to win one of the places for the 7 natural wonders of the world. It was clearly something to be proud of. This started out as a fishing town with malaria and diseases, a prison, and the largest leper colony in the world. During World War II, the Japanese had a prisoner camp for the Americans. It was a terrible place. But now everything has been changed around from 1992, when he took mayorship and promised the bishop he would change his ways, and did a 180-degree change in the other direction. And not doing any of the gambling rackets anymore. Keeping everything environmentally pristine. He was quite a man. He could write with both hands at the same time, so you needed a mirror to read it, so no one else could read it. Quite an intelligent person. So here I am, just thinking about all of these things. All the awards that he had won that I had saw in City Hall on the wall with all the trophies and certificates, this was a fraction of them. He was quite a man. He had done a lot for the city. There's no doubt about it. So as I was looking at my drone shots that I was taking of the beaches, I was noticing how beautiful and pristine they were, how there was no refuse anywhere, just beautiful, beautiful beaches and foliage everywhere. The largest forage coverage was still in Palawan, and the mayor taking over, making everything ecologically sound and stopping all of the illegal logging, the illegal fishing. All of the stuff that was going on that was bad for the environment he had brought to an end. The waterfalls that were just coming down with people that were able to go swimming in different areas when they found pools. So eventually, I ended up to the starting point of the underground river, where everybody launched their boats. Here I was seeing the beautiful launching point to take the tourist boats to the underground river, about a 20-minute boat ride to the entrance of the cave. And I'm looking at all the drone shots that you're looking at now, seeing beautiful beaches and showing the launching point for the underground river. And now I was finally off to see the underground river. And so my boat would, taking the 20-minute ride, get there. This was a very unusual thing for me to experience because there weren't many places in the world like this at the time of this film. And it was the largest underground river in the world. Here I was seeing the beautiful launching point to take the tourist boats to the underground river, about a 20-minute boat ride to the entrance of the cave. There were monitor lizards along the way and monkeys that would steal anything left unattended. Take glasses off your face. It was there that from a launching point took a small boat into the underground river cave where everything changed.
Shucks! Hala, namamalo yan.
Here I was entering the cave. Beautiful stalagmites and stalactites everywhere, and here discovery by the Leventi group was a 20-million-year-old sea cow. This discovery changed how everybody viewed the things that were found in the oceans 20 million years ago. This is a cow with the square snout. It was so dark without light, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, lots of bats and graffiti from way back when. The column of stalagmites and stalagmites were just breathtaking. This is quite a beautiful place. The silence was just amazingly quiet, the underworld. Beautiful. I really enjoyed my trip in the underground river. There's so much beauty of a different kind of a world that I've never seen before. Mayor Hagedorn had taken this place that he discovered and had it registered as Eco-Heritage Site for the world. And now it was being taken to the 7 natural wonders of the world to be one of the winners. About to meet the man that created the 7 natural wonders of the world.
Okay. My name is Bernard Weber. I'm the founder and president of New Seven Wonders. It's an organization I have founded in 1999, and the first campaign, the New Seven Wonders of Man-Made, were officially launched in 2000. And that campaign ran for 7 years, till the 7th of July 2007, which was 70707, and ended with 103 million votes collected from all over the world, and defined the new Seven Wonders of the world, opposed to the ancient Seven Wonders, which were declared by a single man 2,200 years ago in Athens, Greece.
Fantastic.
Here about Puerto Princesa, of course, I learned about the activities, about Mayor Hagedorn. I did not know that before. Puerto Princesa Underground River, in fact, was a surprise candidate. It's an underdog, so to speak, because it's not an iconic natural site. It's not known in the world. But for me, it is equally important, even more important, because the aim of this campaign should also be to draw attention to places and sites that are less known. And when I learned about the activities of Mayor Hagedorn, I was very interested of coming here and see with my own eyes what this man has realized. And he's the living proof that if one person is motivated and determined to do something, in this case to foster the ecology of this island, to keep a good balance between nature and human beings and development, I think it's the proof that one single person with a good team can move mountains and can make a big difference. And I wish that Puerto Princesa gets voted by the people, because I think it would encourage Mayor Hagedorn to continue what he's doing, and he will have a big push in terms of incoming tourists and interest in this place. And I'm sure the remaining time he is in office, at least he will be taking good care, and he will meet the challenges that come with that, with the influx of people.
Beautiful.
Pride of Palawan, and now it is the pride of the world. It has officially been named one of the new Seven Wonders of Nature. May I also thank Mr. Weber and his organization.
President Aquino came to visit the underground river with the mayor to see for himself what all of this was about, because they were trying to be one of the 7 natural wonders of the world winners. And he was coming there to help stir up a lot of advertisement and getting everybody to vote and text their votes and how important that was. So while he was there was a small celebration with the dancers. That was always a celebration to greet everybody that came.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we request you, His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, so we can immediately start the program.
Our idol, Mayor Ed Hagedorn, who if he ran for president probably would be here instead of me.
Mr. President and distinguished guests, I am proud to introduce to you the most loved mayor of Puerto Princesa City, Mayor Edward S. Hagedorn.
His Excellency President Benigno S. Aquino III, President of the Republic of the Philippines, we wish to acknowledge and profusely thank His Excellency President Aquino for being the first president to have visited the underground river in his first term of office. And that is to promote the underground river as one of the candidates to the new Seven Wonders of Nature. 12,000 tourists when we started in 1992, and projecting around 1.5 million tourists within the next 5 years. Everybody, we approached Father Chet Villarin and the Manila Observatory to conduct a greenhouse gas inventory of Puerto Princesa, the first of its kind in the country, thereby confirming our city's commitment to sustainable development.
Behind closed doors, the ambassador and Mayor Haggerton talked a lot of business, and then the Honourable. Leslie Bassett came along to talk over the turning over of the Coast Guard Centre that they had built for us. Here they are signing the papers for the Coast Guard and training facility for law enforcement. This was quite a deal, because before this there were not boats or any of the equipment used on the high seas that was greatly needed for everybody. And you're about to see some of that pretty soon. This was a big facility that was built, and it was going to help train the Coast Guard and the law enforcement that was needed. A step up from what was there before. So after the papers were signed, Leslie Bassett gave a speech. Mayor Hagedorn gave a speech. And everybody was enjoying the handover of the keys to the city to Leslie Bassett and the Celebrate It. We had the singers there singing away. It was quite a ceremony, lot of happiness.